And we are back with some more Umineko When They Cry. So, where we last left off, I feel like the last part doesn't feel anything special, but a part of me with that sort of puzzle kind of made me feel like it's something to do with the importance of how bad. Okay, so here's the weird part, right? So the last segment it was like, okay, so all of them are in the dining room, especially Erica, in which she's a guest, but according to the title of the chapter, call it an annoying guest, and that kind of explains it in a way. Well, the last episode was episode 5 she wasn't coming off annoying until like somewhere in the end, but this time it's like she's I wouldn't say she's annoying, but she's acting like an intellectual. Well, the intellectual rapist decides to come in place. So kind of wild, right? And it's not to mention, like, what confu I think I'm probably gonna get a lot of I'm probably getting some shit for that too, so, with something to do with the puzzle. It was something to do with the slice of cheese. Although, like, when I was discussing with the IRL friend who already read it, he was like, "Okay, I think of this as three-dimensional," but Badler was like, "Oh, I think of this as a slice of cheese," and then he said something to do with folding it according size. It doesn't it is and even I thought it was like, oh well, I thought it has to be equal size, but the rule says it doesn't have to be equal size regardless. So it's like, okay. Uh, I but my friend was like, oh well, Battler's now smart. I'm like, okay, like I don't. That's so weird though. But yeah. I feel like last part doesn't feel like anything important, but when Angie's decided to interrupt it, it is something important. That's for damn sure. So anyway, the unsettling sound of the wind had now blended in with the sound of rain, mimicking the howl of some monstrous beast. Just when it seemed to be crying out sadly, it would suddenly turn into a roar and rattle the window, striking up even more fear and unease within me. Light from the hallway poured in through the thin crack of the slightly open door. It seemed to carry it with it laughter that was warm and happy, but very distant. I'm sure everyone's in the dining hall or somewhere having a good time. I want to go there as soon as I can. I'm sure my family will be there. I hate being all alone in a place like this. Dad, Mom. I stubbornly tried again and again to get that door open, but the merciless chain just wouldn't let it open any further than that crack. On the contrary, feeling this close to a way out just made me more impatient. Gulping and trying to ignore the fear lurking behind me, I quietly closed the door. That light coming out of the crack is just a trap. An iron shackle making it look like I'm an inch away from freedom, so that door will never actually open. A shackle tracking trackle. A shackle trapping me in here for all eternity. I need to get out of this creepy room as soon as possible. When I closed the door, all that filled the room were the eerie sounds of wind and rain. The way the wind picked up every now and then and shook the window frame felt like a monster in a cage shaking the bars. I was so scared of that monster, I couldn't help but avert my gaze from the window. Gotta search. If I can't get out the door, I need to find another way out. Just to the side of the door was a closet. There was only enough space inside to hang overcoats. Of course, it didn't connect to anywhere outside the room. If this were hide and seek, it'd probably be fun to hide it there. However, inside this creepy room, it'd be no better than stepping into my own coffin. If I go in there, Maybe I'll find myself trapped in the closet next. This fear I didn't understand sent a massive shiver up my spine, and I closed the closet door in a hurry. There's one door left. One door left, and then it leads to the bathroom. You know, from the looks of the background, judging from how eerie it is kind of creepy. This is like any generic horror game whenever there's a bathroom involved. It's always like this. When I opened it, there was the bath and toilet. Of course, there was no exit. There weren't even any windows. If I turned the faucet, water would probably come out, then disappear down the drain and flow outside. But I couldn't get out that way. Unless I went into the bathtub with the stopper pulled out of the drain and smashed my flesh and bones to bits. I had the feeling that this was the only way out, so the black stopper in the bathtub drain looked extremely terrifying. I tried a lot of things, both mentally and physically, but there really was no chance of me getting out through the bathroom. Next is the window. Beyond the window is a pitch black darkness. You know, one thing I noticed too from the bathroom is it mentioned only a bathtub and what did it say? Yeah, it's only bathtub and toilet. So I was like, okay, you mean to tell me there's no sink? Like, out of all things, I have never seen a bathroom, whether it's like non-public and public. I've never seen a bathroom that has no sink. Because if anything, I mean, you can, and I could be wrong, you know. I don't know how you can wash your hands. Beyond the window is a pitch black darkness. The fierce winds and rain are slamming against the glass. I mean, okay, if there was no sink in the bathroom and there's only a bathtub, I guess technically you could bring your own hand soap and wash your hands from there, but kind of weirdly inconvenient in a way. The fierce winds and rain are slamming against the glass. The darkness on the other side of the window may have been unsettling, but I didn't really care where I went as long as it got me out of this room. However, the window was clamped shut, right down the middle of the window, which was made to swing open like a set of double doors, were several ugly metal clamps. It was even more unnerving than the chain on the door, like a rough operation scar on some bizarre monster. The wind and rain slammed against the window frame, shaking it and making it creak loudly. However, unlike the door, this wouldn't open even a crack. I've had enough. Give it a rest already. What the hell's going on with this room? I've had enough of this creepy room. Enough, 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 enough. It's impossible to go outside except by the door and windows. And compared to that thick door, the window looks like it might be possible to break. I'll smash it. If I swing a chair at it, the glass will probably break. I might even be able to smash the wooden grid that runs through these latticed windows. All I need to do is make a gap large enough to slip out of. I grabbed a fancy-looking antique chair and headed back to the window. Ah! Smash it. Over and over. The glass smashed with a violent sound, and the frame groaned and creaked. Smash it, smash it, over and over. If I can just break through the wooden grid. Damn it, what the hell? Even though the glass had been smashed apart, Even though the cold rain that blew in tormented me, I just couldn't get that grid to break. They weren't iron bars. It was just a slender wooden mesh. Even though it's fragile enough to make that creaking sound, why doesn't it break? No, wait, maybe it's almost broken. I don't know why it's not breaking. Maybe you haven't tried it hard enough. You know? I mean, surely there's a freaking tool or something to break it. More than this, just a mere chair. Maybe it's almost broken. What if I try attacking it from a different angle instead of just smashing it head on? That's one way to put it. I stuck my left hand outside the hole in the broken lattice window, grabbed the frame from the front with my right hand, and tried to break it by shaking it around from both sides. My left hand started to grow ice cold from the frigid winds and rain. When I shook it, fragments of glass sticking out from the broken frame poked into me, and my wrist was soon stained with blood. But if I can just get out of here, this much pain is no big deal. But I can't get out. I'm stuck. It won't open. I can't break it. The more violently I shook the frame, the more the glass fragments tore into my left wrist, causing me intense pain. Okay. Wait, what's... Huh? Ow. 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 Before I realized it, the glass fragments of the frame had extended outwards. It was as though an ugly beast was trying to chew my hand off with glass teeth. It didn't just feel as though they were growing outwards. They actually were getting longer before my very eyes. They're chewing my hand into bits. I tried desperately to pull my hand out, but it had already dug deep into my wrist, and I couldn't move it. I put all my strength into it, but it just hurt more and more, and the glass didn't even budge. But what the hell? Damn it, let go, let go, let go! I hit the glass with my right fist over and over, but that just hurt my right fist and did nothing to release my other hand. Just then, my left hand, which was still exposed to the rain outside, brushed against something slimy. What? It couldn't have been a leaf blown about by the winds or anything like that. I mean, it felt just like the touch of someone's rain-soaked hand. Then it closed tightly around my left hand. It feels like a little bit of a creepypasta moment there. Is this... I am confused by this. How did we get to this very sort of notion where we are like over 13 minutes in? Is this some sort of paranormal entity we're dealing with here? The glass being like alive or some shit? Then it closed tightly around my left hand. Or is this some sort of illusion that we just delved in hell upon? Closed tight around my left hand. When I felt the 5 fingers, I knew that some person out in the darkness was touching my left hand. And yes, I know who it is. It's the witch. The terrifying witch who rules over Rokujima's night. The 2 hands soaked in the freezing rain gently caressed my left hand. However, though I could tell what was happening by touch, I couldn't see anything out there in the darkness. Then, it felt about my fingers and twisted my ring finger upwards. Ow, 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 ow. It's gonna break. Yeah! At that moment, I saw something in the darkness for the first time. It was white. The darkness grinned and bared its white teeth. Then, that mouth, filled with eerily white teeth, approached my finger that had been twisted up so far it was about to break and opened wide. Uh, it must have been laughing at me from the darkness. After all, that creepy mouth was twisting upward in a huge grin. I had a horrible idea of what it might be trying to do to my finger. Uh, Oh, whatever that is, haunted by a demon, it is going to eat you alive. A shiver ran up my spine. I resisted as much as I could, but the fangs of glass just wouldn't release my left hand. And then it gently bit my finger. You know, I see what they did there, trying to do a little bit of a jump scare there, but yeah, I can see why. Flesh and bone were crushed and torn apart in an instant. Crunch, rip, tear, squelch, splat.
今何か聞こえませんでしたか？
僕もガタンって音を聞いたような。
風で窓でもガタついたんだろうぜ。何しろオンボロ屋敷だからな。
I don't know. It's just another rainy day, I guess.
そういうのってなんだか不気味だよな。本当に魔女が屋敷の中を歩き回ってるのかなって。6年前のガキの頃には随分怯えて夜を過ごしたもんさ。
おお、いる。ベアトリーチェはいる。この廊下の向こうには何があるんですか？あちらには客室がございますが、今は使っておりません。
うん。ゲストハウスができたからね。それまでは客室に僕らは泊まってたんだよ。
I was gonna ask the fucking same stupid question over and over again, but I'm not gonna bother. Yeah, well, I guess the guest house is technically just another house, I guess.
ああ、俺も覚えてるぜ。今日のゲストハウスがあまりに綺麗なんで驚いちまった。
まあ新築だからな。私も自分の部屋をそっちに移したいもんだぜ。シャノン、エリカさんの部屋もゲストハウスでしょ？
You wish you could move your own room over there. Technically, you could just move over there. It's not really necessary running away, though. I mean,
はい。ゲストハウスにご用意させていただきました。で、ゲストハウスは屋敷から離れていると。どんな事件が起こっても互いには聞こえませんね。
well, yeah, because you'd be minding your own business over there.
やれやれ。まだ探偵モードなのかよ。明日の朝全員で揃っておはようって言っただけでがっかりしちまいそうだぜ。
確かに。さすがに明日の朝には誰かが減ってないと困ります。ね
You, at least one of us had better be gone by. So what you're saying is you want like at least one death to occur, or one of the deaths to occur tomorrow.
それでは ゲストハウスへご案内します。
Even Shannon's just sitting there like, yeah, about that. Let's proceed to be going now. The adults were apparently about to begin a conversation that they didn't want the kids to hear. Yeah, I don't want to hear about your same stupid inheritance argument. My God. Well, thank God I didn't have to fucking sit through all that nonsense just like the past few episodes. So, uh, I mean, I feel like it's sort of like the same sort of importance, but I'm pretty sure I already know this by now. I already know that by now. The real family conference was about to start. As the kids and Erica followed Shannon on their way to the guest house, they passed through the entrance hall.
外は今が一番の振りのようだね。
客までテレビでも見ながら、もう少し振りが弱くなるのを待ってもいいんじゃねえの？
ゲストハウスに戻りなさいってゲスト。おお。
Oh shit. I did not mean to skip through this. This is what happens when I'm fucking half asleep. Mama said to go back to the guest house. We have to go or she'll get mad. Yeah, but you also have guest rooms in the mansion, so...
ゲストハウスの方が落ち着けるぜ。
Sure?
ゲストハウスに戻りなさいってママに言われた。ゲストハウスじゃないと怒られる。おお。
Okay. Anyway. I think we'll be able to relax a lot more over there.
不機嫌な親の声も面もごめん被るぜ。
Yeah, but it's not like we're bothering them or anything. Like, I don't really see how that's even an issue.
ますますにお膳立てが整っているようで。
Oh, no shit. Erica giggled, an openly indiscreet look on her face.
今傘のご用意をいたします。少々お待ちください。ちょっとずっと気になってました。肖像画のご婦人はどなたですか？
I thought you would already know them. Wait, why are you asking that in this episode? You're fucking Erica. You should already know this by now. I know this is a different tale, but can't just ask that and pretend like you don't know it.
まあぶっちゃけベアとの肖像画であることは知ってるわけですが。
Okay, but why are you asking that out of the blue?
前回のゲームでは通り過ぎてしまっただけで面白くなかったので。
Erica whispered to herself, but of course no one heard her.
こちらは親方様の恩人ベアトリーチェ様でございます。
おじい様に莫大な黄金を授けてくれた後宮家復興の恩人だそうだよ。
ただのじい様の中の妄想の魔女だぜ。
I don't wanna...
こいつの亡霊が夜な夜な屋敷の中を歩き回ってるって話らしいぜ。
よせよ。俺小さい頃はその話めちゃくちゃ苦手で、この屋敷の夜は苦手だったんだ。
そんなこともあったね。6年経った今はどう？
すっかり忘れてたが、この肖像画をまじまじ見てるうちにまた怖い気持ちが蘇ってきちまったぜ。
ベアトリーチェは怖くないよ。敬いを持っていればね。持ってないと。ね、シャノン。
So what you're saying is, if I don't respect her, then I get fucked.
はい。使用人たちの間でもそう囁かれています。夜回りの使用人たちの間でも時折人影を見たとか黄金の蝶を見たとかいう噂が。
ああ、去年だか一昨年だかに使用人の人が階段から転げ落ちて大怪我してやめたじゃん。あれベアトリーチェの呪いだなんて囁かれてなかったっけ。イヒヒヒヒ。
Jessica told it like a ghost story, trying to scare Erica, but Erica just laughed disdainfully.
なんだよ、薄気味悪いな。ただの事故だろ。偶然だろ。
I'm really curious who the servant was. Maybe it...
おじいさまがここに肖像画を掲げてすぐのことだから一昨年のことだと思うよ。確かまさにここの大階段から落ちて怪我をしたんだよね。
そうそう、このバカでかい肖像画は何しろインパクトあったから。掲げられてすぐは屋敷中であれは何だと話題になったもんだよ。それでその後すぐにここで事故があったもんだからベアトリーチェの呪いだってことになってさ。
Well, I mean, anyone can fall down the stairs within an accident purpose. But that said, I mean, it's pretty wild. That's for damn sure.
ベアトリーチェの階段云々はこの肖像画の後から？いえ、その前からもベアトリーチェ様の霊が歩き回っているというお噂はありました。
Around even before that.
でもこの肖像画が掲げられてからはもっとそういう話が増えた気がします。
今までは魔女ベアトリーチェと聞いても具体的なイメージが湧かなかったからだろうね。この肖像画によって具体的になり、より一層以後の階段に厚みが出たんだと思うな。
そもそも魔女ベアトリーチェなんて誰が言い出したんです？
The Who started talking.
じいさまだぜ。
I mean, obviously.
我が最愛の魔女ベアトリーチェってよく取り乱して叫んでたから。
It's a very interesting mimic of him there.
この肖像画が出てくるまでは顔の想像もつかなかったけど。
こんな薄気味悪い肖像画がでーんと飾られたら、そりゃ階段の一つや二つできて当然だろうぜ。音楽室のベートーベンの肖像画も学校創立者の銅像もみんなちょうどいい階段の音章じゃねえか。
確かにこんなに古風な薄暗いお屋敷でずっとこんな風雨の音を聞いていたら、そういう階段の一つや二つ生まれてもおかしくはなさそうです。まあ所詮は怪談、妄想、おとぎ話。
Ghost stories, delusion, fairy tale, urban legends.
取るにも足らない寝ぼけたうつけ者のざれ言以下ですが。
I'm pretty sure anytime you want to listen to like I'm pretty sure I feel like you can be it. I feel like ghost stories and all that kind of nonsense feels better if you're high or something. But I digress. Erica looked up at the portrait and smiled at it hostilely, as though she felt that this smile was disrespectful to Beato. Maria's face soured.
おー、ベアトリーチェはいる。そんなこと言ってるときっとエリカに魔女の呪いがあるよ。おや、怖い怖い。魔女の呪い、大いに望むところですよ、ベアトリーチェ。
Erica's just sitting there and was like, oh yeah? What the fuck is she gonna do about it?
これでエリカが明日の朝変死してたら魔女殺人事件の幕開けだな。おいおい、お前探偵なんだろ。探偵がいきなり殺されるなんて斬新すぎるぜ。
Well, she is the detective. I mean, that's part of the reason for episode 5 is like, um, it was part of the reason why Burnt Castle and Lambda were just bored. So, but as far as I know, episode 6, it's not these two are controlling the game board this time. It's Badler. So.
おや、それは困りますね。現場検証に差し支えます。なるほど、ノックスにも探偵を殺してはならないとは書いてありませんし。マリア、いいもの持ってる。ベアトリーチェの呪いを防げるお守り。
お守り？
A charm.
そんなのあるのか?
Yes. I think I already heard enough discussion about how charms work. After fishing around in her bag, Maria pulled out a string of beads attached to a medal that had a scorpion drawn on it. It looked like a cheap prize from an arcade or something.
何です？これ。魔除けのお守りなの。効果は弱いけれど、これをつけてれば今夜一晩はきっとベアトリーチェの呪いを避けられるよ。他にもクモの巣が魔除けに効くとも聞きました。
Spiderwebs are also useful for repelling magic.
ベアとはきっと蝶の化身だからクモも苦手なんだね。
True.
あれ？それは悪事記島の悪霊が苦手な方じゃなかったっけ？
Akujikishima.
熊沢さんが詳しいよな、そういうの。
魔女に悪霊？少し興味を持ちました。よかったらゲストハウスでもう少し話を聞かせてもらえませんか？こちらが皆さんの傘です。お使いください。
Okay. Changing the topic is like, okay, here are your umbrellas, everyone. Let's head to the guest house now.
外はまだだいぶ雨が強いのでお気をつけください。
Shannon handed out the umbrellas she had brought. Everyone headed towards the exit. And then, when there were none left standing in front of the portrait, a gold butterfly appeared. It expanded out into a golden splash, becoming a human form. In the hall, empty now that the children had left, Beato stood alone and silent, looking up at her own portrait. Without a doubt, the figure depicted there was as like her as an image in a mirror. However, it felt as though its eyes and expression were just a little different from hers. From her perspective, while the person in this portrait was almost infinitely close to herself, it was just as surely a different person entirely.
あなたは誰なんでしょう。私にどうかあなたという人を教えてください。
Who is this person? Beato had already finished reading the fragments from Featherine's library, which showed the tales of all the games so far. However, the witch called Beatrice, who had been depicted in them. Did I say Beatrice earlier? I feel like I was being a dumbass for that. God damn it. Oh well. The witch called Beatrice, who had been depicted in them, had been so vastly different from her. At the very end, it had looked as though that witch and Battler had connected just a little bit as rivals, but for the most part, Beatrice had just bullied and bullied Battler in nearly all of the tales. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think they're rivals. Beatrice is just more of like, just the local. Beatrice is just the witch who's the local bully for Battler at this point. Even though this was about her, she had no idea why Beatrice had tormented Battler so much when she had supposedly been born for Battler's sake. All she had learned from Featherine's library was that the former Beato was a completely different person who defied understanding.
あなたに何があったのですか。私はあなたの卵、そしてヒナ。あなたの翼はお父様のためにあったはず。
So let's see. He. Interesting. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby bird chick means Hina for Japanese. So.
それがいつ片翼をもがれ、あのように変わり果ててしまったのですか。
She had listened to the conversation Battler and the others had just been having. Beatrice can't handle scorpion charms? Beatrice can't deal with spider webs? She wouldn't have wanted to touch either of those by choice, but it wasn't as though anything terrible would happen if she did. Was being perfectly fine when around those proved that she wasn't Beatrice? Even though this involved her own self, she didn't understand at all. So she quietly gazed into her own eyes in the portrait. It felt as though the truth hid behind those eyes. Beato slowly approached the portrait, and then she lightly touched it. When she did, it felt as though the portrait rippled slightly. Yes, this is a doorway. A doorway to the long path that will lead her to the Golden Witch, Beatrice. Beato felt a bit dizzy. She lost her balance, feeling as though the world was twisting around her. Then, when she couldn't tell which way was up or down, she was swallowed downwards. Plunk. With a soft, watery sound, Beato was sucked into the portrait. The world inside the portrait was a pitch black. However, there was nothing unsettling about it. It was a comfortable darkness like when you put your head under the covers in bed at night. Beato realized this was a world inside herself. So despite the darkness, she felt a warm embrace. As long as she asked for nothing, this world would ask nothing of her. But she couldn't remain like this. She didn't want to spend eternity inside the darkness of this world. Yes, I need to hatch out of my egg. This darkness is the shell surrounding the gold butterfly called Beatrice.
私は生まれます。お父様のために。バトラお父様のために生き、尽くすために生まれます。
She took her goal, her reason for being born, and put it in words. As if in response to those words, the seal on the shell began to melt away. Cracks appeared in the darkness, and a brilliant light enveloped the world. Oh, we're back. We're back here. And so, Beatrice was born.
えお
Oh, wow. I see. So we got the chick Beato, and then wait a minute. Hold on. What? That is. What is this? Did we just warp? What did Chick Beato warp through a portal and just so we can bring back the the other Beato? Did we bring back the other Beato from the other parallel world? There I stood, along with another me. For a second, I thought that the me in front of me was the real Beatrice, the one I wanted to be more like. However, she was looking back at me with the same bewildered eyes, so I realized that wasn't quite it. That's right. I wasn't the only one born from that egg. She was also born. I don't know. I don't know if I prefer this Beato with the longer hair or the other Beato with the hair already tied up into a bun. She was also born. Is she my twin? No, it feels a bit different. How can I put it? Both of us are lacking something and immature. Yes, both of us are chicks, but we are also fragments of the true Beatrice. It felt as though we could become the real Beatrice together. No one explained this to us. However, we naturally understood. I decided to talk to this other me. Unless I get to know her and become one with her, I won't be able to become the Beatrice father desires. In other words, the thing that father wants from me, and was so heartbroken to find missing must be something that she has.
こんにちは。
Oh wow. We got a very displeased look on her face right there of her other self. The Beatrice with her hair down looked at me dubiously several times, then finally spoke.
どうしてわらわと同じ顔を
The true Beatrice also spoke in that manner. It looks like she really does have something that I lack.
さあ。それは私にもわかりません。
わらわは黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ
Wait. What the fuck? Huh. Beatrice, the Elder. Elder Beat, a mysterious witch who existed even before the rules. She has the same name as Beato, but she was not given the purpose of devoting herself to Battler. A mere shadow of a witch sealed away by Kinzo. She spends her days pulling small pranks and clearing away the anti-magic toxin for the sake of her resurrection. Has many things in common with the evil spirits of Akukijima, such as a fear of spiderwebs. She was the one who gave Shannon the golden butterfly brooch. Huh. That. What? So we have the Beatrice, which is the chick Beato, like born by Battler, or like revived in a way as like remake Beatrice from scratch, or something like that. And then when she warped, this is so weird. She went through the freaking painting of Beatrice just to get in contact with the elder version of Beatrice. What if? Well, it's not. Doesn't even look like a. Well, technically, kind of look like a clone, but this one is different. What if this? What if the? What if the elder in parentheses is gonna teach the chick Beato how? What? How? How everything goes, you know? That's what I wonder. Yeah, yes, you're the Golden Witch.
そなたは？私もベアトリーチェです。
I'm the Golden Witch, Beatrice. But I'm also Beatrice.
後ろ宮バトラに仕えるために生まれてきました。わらわは黄金の魔女にして六軒島の夜の支配者。後ろ宮バトラは知っているが、あのような小僧になぜに仕えねばならぬのか理解に苦しむ。
Serve a brat. That sounds hell. That sounds like what the Tsundere would say. I realized that the thought I had a second ago must have been true. Together, we really can become the true Beatrice. Though the person in front of me does have the part that makes her a witch, which I lack. She does not possess the mission to live for Ushiromiya Battler's sake. She has what I do not, and I'm sure I have something she does not.
私たちはきっと二人で一人の存在なんです。双子みたいなものだと思います。いいや違う。そなたはわらわの妹だ。
That is not so. You're the little sister.
わらわはそなたが生まれるよりずっと前からここにいる。
You have been long since before you. Wait. But that's weird because I thought you were entirely erased to begin with. That's what I thought. The fuck?
そうだったんですか。
Wait, so you've been there long before the chick Beato existed. I get, so if you were in Lair, I guess you were not technically like erased entirely. You were just trapped with within. Oh, my brain is becoming more and more stupid each time I try to process things. I was born later. So, does that mean the mission to live for Ushiromiya Battler's sake was born later on? However, I don't think my whole existence is something quite as faint and intangible as a mission. I have enough of a personality to think and act as I am doing now. So the witch Beato and I are separate people, with both of us possessing something that other lacks. In that sense, maybe it's fitting for us to call ourselves sisters, as she says. Excuse me.
私はあなたのことが知りたいんです。
わらわも知りたい。そなたもまたわらわであることは理解している。そしてなぜにそのような言葉遣いであり、バトラに仕えねばならぬのか。そしてどうやらそれを理解せぬ限り、わらわたちは互いに未熟らしい。
So we have the shy and timid chick Beato, and then we have the cold and jaded Beato. I see.
私は完全なベアトリーチェになりたいんです。
わらわはそなたが生まれるまでこれで完全な存在だった。しかしこうしてそなたが現れた今、そなたを受け入れるのがわらわの定めであるように思う。わらわもまたそなたのことを知りたい。
The witch Beato's tone was very slightly arrogant, which fitted her self-proclaimed status as the older sister. However, since we both realized that we were the same person, there was no need for her to be the bully. She probably realized that after meeting me, her current form was no longer her real self.
ここはどこですか？お屋敷のホール？あ、
Beato gasped. Her portrait wasn't there. Did that mean that this was at least 2 years in the past?
そうとも。後ろ宮の屋敷のホールである。夜はわらわの時間。そして夜の屋敷はわらわのものだ。金蔵の間抜けは相変わらずわらわをよみがえらせようだの捕らえようだのと躍起になっている。皮肉な話よ。そのわらわはこうして堂々と毎晩屋敷を支配しているというのに。
Oh, there it is. I definitely missed that cackle.
あなたはここで何を？
Okay, what do you even do here?
体を失い、あの肉々しい鎮守の社により魔力もない。しかしわずかずつに日々魔力はよみがえりつつあるのだ。最後には見事復活を遂げ、あの金蔵を嘲笑ってやりたいぞ。わらわは見事そなたの檻を抜け出したとな。その笑いだけを楽しみに夜な夜な徘徊して暇つぶしをしている亡霊といったところよ。
ご一緒してもいいですか？
無論。
Of course.
何しろそなたもまたわらわの一部。右腕の同行を断る左腕がどこにいる？
How could the left hand refuse the company of the right? True.
断る道理もない。そなたを迎えようぞ。我が妹、新しきベアトリーチェよ。
So with 2 hands become 1.
ありがとうございます。お姉様。
こそばゆい呼び方だ。だが悪くない。
I mean, you're the one who called Chick Beato the referred to her as the little sister, so that's not surprising.
さあ参ろうか。夜の屋敷を散歩しよう。わらわの退屈な日常を紹介しようぞ。
The everyday boring life? Oh boy. And thus the two disappeared. They explore right around. The two Beatrices changed their forms into two gold butterflies, flitting silently into the depths of the shadowy mansion. I see. So so the chick Beato is gonna learn her ways from the other Beato. Sounds cold and arrogant in a way. The source of magic.
私は今でもそうなんですが、うっかり屋さんで、よく物をどこに置いたか忘れたり、
I always forgot where I put things. I think I've locked something up when I actually forgot.
鍵をかけたつもりが忘れちゃったりとかして、迷惑をかけてたんです。
昔はよく夏日おばさんに怒られてたね。
Alright. I keep forgetting about how Natsuki just treats you like that. I mean, yeah, that's just typical work life, I guess.
でもシャノンは途中から克服したんだぜ、その忘れっぽいの。
へえ、克服って？
大したことじゃないですけど、こまめにメモを残すようにしたんです。大切なものはどこに置いたのかちゃんとメモして、日々繰り返すことはメモにチェックリストを書いてちゃんと点検して。
Yeah, that's one way to do it. If you have trouble remembering things, just write shit down.
それであなたはベアトリーチェを見たんですか？見てないんですか？直接見たわけじゃないんですけど、やっぱりおかしいことがあって。
She was talking about a certain summer night. Shannon had been doing the nightly rounds. From her perspective, it was a ghost story. From the witch's perspective, it was just a story of a little summer's night prank. Summer night prank? What?
我が妹よ。そなたは人間の持つ半魔法の毒を理解しておるか？いいえ。何ですか、お姉様。
What is this? Check Vieta's gonna learn some fucking mage witchcraft shit. Oh god.
うん。魔女の時代はもはや遠い過去。
I mean, you can make fun of me for like liking magecraft and whatnot, but you know, this is a pretty interesting dynamic. That's for damn sure.
万物を支配したとのたまう人間どもは我らの存在を否定する強い毒を持つに至ったのだ。その毒は私たちには有害なのですか？極めて危険だ。浴びれば 立ちどころに我らの姿を蒸発させてしまうだろう。しかし不幸中の幸いなことに、我らの存在は未だ極めて希薄だ。そのおかげで毒の影響も甚大ではない。せいぜい一時姿を霞にされてしまうくらいだ。
しかし好んで浴びたいものではないということですね。
その通り。さすがはわらわ。理解が早い。
The older sister appeared to be haughty at first, but perhaps because she was so happy to have met her double and little sister, she was more than willing to teach her anything she wanted to know. The first thing she taught was that they were witches, a different type of being than humans. Beato had thought her inability to use magic meant she wasn't a witch, but apparently she was still a witch nonetheless. And she learned that witches like her were bound by various limitations, unlike humans. The greatest of those restrictions was the anti-magic toxin possessed by humans.
つまり簡単に言えば、人間の視界に入ってはならないということですね。
その通りだ。人間の目は毒を放つものと同じに考えよ。
The human eyes. Ah, yes, the evil eye.
奴らに見られるということは、身を焼かれるのと同じことだ。それには劣るが、聞かれること、気取られることすらも毒を含む。
私たちは人間に近づくだけでも大変なのですね。
Wasn't father a human? Why am I not burnt by father's toxin?
我らが魔力を蓄え、それを人間も認めたなら、その毒は限りなく軽減される。
That question though, that is a good question. If you stock up magical power having knowledge by humans, well, drastically.
すなわち、我らの存在を認めさせることが、人間たちから毒を失わせ、再び彼らの前に降臨することもできるというわけだ。
なるほど。今の私たちは基本的に人間たちのいぬ間のみに存在できるわけですね。
魔力がまだまだ足りぬわらわたちは、人影に怯え、物陰にこそこそと隠れる野良猫にも劣る存在というわけよ。
I see. This is starting to get a little bit more interesting in a way. Humans in the shadows. Alright, yeah, we're over an hour in. I think this is a good time to stop here. Anyway, that'll be it for now. So, next part. We'll continue more on how these two Beatos will converse. So, it is pretty interesting, that's for damn sure. I mean, aside from Chick Beato, trying to explore the truth of what the true Beato's behavior is. Well, who knows? Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.